Someone killed, mutilated, and posed a body on Merchant Bridge. If I'm going to stop them, then I need to investigate the crime scene for clues.
Always looking for names to besmirch. Where does this newsman conduct his research? Research.
Alfred, I found the mutilated body Cash was talking about. I'm going to try and establish a cause of death. Blood tests reveal the cause of death was an overdose of painkillers leading to cardiac arrest. Also, the victim's fingerprints have been burned off with acid.
A rather unsavory demise.
That's not all. It's as though the subject's DNA has been corrupted somehow. There's insufficient information for me to cross-reference the database. I'll have to use the deep tissue scanner to analyze the body for distinguishing features and determine the victim's identity.
Right you are, sir.
Deformity on the left ear. Looks like a result of minor ear agenesis, a birth defect. A wedding ring in the lower intestine. The inscription reads, Ophelia. The victim had a hip replacement. Scar tissue hasn't fully healed, so it must have been recent. Alfred, the victim's name is Anthony Lund. Hospital records show he suffered with alcoholism, most probably brought on by the breakdown of his marriage. The name on the ring, Ophelia, his ex-wife. He was last seen in Albuquerque, New Mexico. What's unusual is that they didn't go missing in Gotham. They were brought here and killed. Why? We need to track down whoever did this.
Might I suggest keeping an ear out for any more of that ghastly opera music? It sounds ominously like a calling card.
The killer is mutilating and posing his victims and then putting them on display.
He left opera music playing at the crime scene. He wants them to be found.
As if Wayne didn't have enough expensive cars. Feel free to argue with him if you want. No way. If the master tactician thinks this is where the gun should be, then fine. How'd the night find him anyway? Last I heard he was in jail. As if the government's just gonna let a guy with skills like that rot in prison. I guess he did a few extra legal favors for Uncle Sam, help remove a troublesome dude. Can you believe it? I was at Blackgate, the Asylum, Arkham City. Never seen Batman. Not once. Just lucky, I guess. You know, if you want to get anything out of your chest, now's a good time. What are you talking about? You know, it helps to unburden yourself before you die. You gonna kill me? Yeah, we kinda had that in mind. But I thought I was a hostage. You're waiting for a ransom. Who said anything about a ransom? You ready for a power-up? Resupply and reload! I hope they send the National Guard in. Tear them apart.
Abducting people and mutilating their bodies. I'm going to find this killer, Alfred.
I think his penchant for opera is a clue, sir.
Batman won't be able to move in this city without us knowing about it. Heard the stories? Sound tough. His ghost stories won't work on me. Yeah, you're right. He's just a man. What's the worst he can do? Oh, I don't know. Break every bone in your body. Was I talking to you? So what Scarecrow's gone down? We weren't taking orders from that freak anyhow. Yeah, I've got a job lined up after this. Cosnia. There's a king there we're gonna depose or restore or kill maybe. Look, I just shoot who they say, okay? Chicken to fight me like a man, Batman. Figures. We all know you prefer hiding in the dark.
Alfred, I found another body. The mutilation pattern looks to be identical to the previous murder victim.
Then it appears Gotham does indeed have a serial killer in its midst. And here I was thinking this evening couldn't get any worse.
I'm going to scan the body for unique identifiers. An irregularity on the victim's chest. It appears to be a birthmark, quite distinctive. There's a bullet lodged deep in the upper bicep. This type of ammunition is predominantly used with a hunting rifle that hasn't been manufactured in over a decade. The left foot is missing several toes. The site of amputation suggests the removal of non-viable tissue in the treatment of frostbite. Alfred, I've ID'd the victim as Robert Kincaid.
He was a microbiologist who worked for Stag Enterprises. Many believe the shooting was connected to Kincaid's knowledge of controversial research, although that remains unverified. He took a teaching post in Atlanta, which is where he was reported missing.
Another person taken from outside the Gotham area.
A significant detail, sir.
So are these words written beside the bodies. Try and find a connection between the two victims I've found, Alfred. There has to be something linking them together.
I'll try my best, sir.
Abducting people, stripping away their identity, killing them. This man's deranged. He needs to be stopped.
Following the source of the opera music has proved fruitful so far this evening, sir. I suggest you continue.
What are we gonna do if Scarecrow doesn't pay us? Take him to small claims? Weird. All the radio stations are playing that emergency broadcast song. I don't want anyone switching off, not for 1 second. What kind of boring post is this? Stuck in here guarding a portable radar dish when all the action's out there. What? It's great. We've got a sea view, gun turrets protecting us. We're not exposed to whatever those freaks pump into the air next. No, I thought I'd get to see him for myself. You know, it's the Batman. Look him in the eyes and say, hey. Listen, we got the specs on the Bat's transport. He's toast. That intel's old. He's doing things in that car we weren't briefed on. There's a lot of things we weren't briefed on. Deal with it. Look, if he's smart, he'll stay away. If not, we'll fry his ass. Ain't heard from Beaks in ages.
Alfred, we can add a third victim to the list.
This is becoming rather ghastly, sir. It brings to mind a spate of murders at the beginning of your career. It was Halloween then, if I'm not mistaken. Turned out to be rather a long one, if I recall.
I'm going to try and identify the body. This wound is relatively fresh, inflicted while the victim was still alive. Abrasion to the epidermal layers confirms the somewhat crude removal of a tattoo. The position of this scar indicates the victim underwent surgery to remove one of their kidneys. A plate made of tantalum, used here for a cranial fracture, most probably the result of a boxing accident. The victim's calloused knuckles would only be acquired by a professional fighter. Alfred, the victim's name is Ella Montgomery.
It appears the kidney was donated to a twin sister who unfortunately died. This seems to have been the catalyst for her boxing pursuits, and hence the cranial injury. She went missing in Huntsville, Alabama.
That's 3 victims, all of them abducted in various places around the country. Keep looking for a connection, Alfred.
Right you are, sir.
The writing by the bodies suggests the killer has a higher purpose. It's as if these weren't good enough for what he has in mind.
Do you think there are other victims?
Yes, and I don't know what he has planned for them. There's a killer out there, Alfred. He must pay for what he's done.
The opera music seems as though it's all part of this sick game, sir. It's a clue we ignore at our peril.
I don't know where that penguin guy got these guns. on top of the old. I didn't know we had an architectural connoisseur on the squad. Hey, I know an ugly skyscraper when I see one. We got our asses kicked by Bruce Wayne. Think it's time I got a real job. You wait! The chief's gonna make you okay. Are you kidding me? The only way he's doing anything is if he comes here with an army, and that ain't happening. So you're screwed. Maybe the chief's already dead. I don't believe you. I don't care what you believe. Hey, slap this jerk, teach him some manners. Get it through your thick skull. You ain't seeing the sunrise. Your life ends here, tonight. No one's coming to save you. I saw him, I swear, running out of a mall. But it wasn't the night anymore, you know? He was a wreck. I served my country, sacrificed everything, lost friends, meant nothing to them. You know we've crossed the line. There's no going back. We won't be forgiven for what we've done here. I don't want their forgiveness. I want them to beg for their lives. Now we get a chance to take him on. I want to see what this guy's got to offer. My favorite ride was probably Blackgate, but this is top 3. Easy. If we don't find something soon, I'm punching you in the face. City Hall tries blowing us all to pieces again. I got a mortgage to pay off.